So this is kabocha squash. It's a Japanese pumpkin. So when I make pumpkin fried rice, you can make it with actual pumpkin and kabocha because it's really creamy when you blend it with coconut milk. So when you cut it, you really need a good knife. So make sure you have a good chef's knife. Give it a good whack, right? And then just bang it through. And you got it cracked open. So now all I'm gonna do, you just have to scoop this out. It's so easy and quick, just with a tablespoon. So once you have this is cool. Watch this. This is so easy. Look, with a good peeler. This is an, if you have a little bit of the green, not a big deal. It's where all the vitamins are anyway. Peeler, and you want to use your knife, you could do that too. Just like that. Time consuming, for sure, but the payoff for delicious pumpkin fried rice, there's nothing better. It into pieces. I like it to be a little bit bigger because as you stew this into the sauce, the coconut, these will break down. It makes it a little creamy. Maybe this could be a little bit small. Here is the kabocha squash that we cut. I'm going to blanch. So you get a pot of boiling water, and then once it comes up to boil, we're going to put all this kabocha squash in the pot of water, and for maybe 3 minutes I'm going to cook it in the water. And then when we put it in this pan with the coconut oil and coconut milk and all the flavors, it's just, watch what happens. This like creaminess happens. And I like this size of the squash because even though it'll like kind of break down a little bit, it gives it, and it mixes with the coconut. You'll see, and the flavors are unbelievable. So we're gonna wait for this to come to a boil. The ingredients for this dish is coconut milk. We have a little bit of coconut oil and some curry powder. You can make your own curry powder. A lot of times I do, but I particularly like the of curry. It's not super spicy, but has the blend of curry, and it blends so well with the squash. Our water's boiling. We're gonna just drop these in. They don't take long, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We don't want them fully cooked. We just want them soft enough to sort of match the rice. So now that blanching is gonna take about 2 minutes. Okay, so we put in the oil, out our kabocha, and put it in our pan. And as we get this in the pan, we're going to just pour some coconut into this. Look how fast this is going to be. All right, that's all set. And now I'm going to add the curry powder into this. Now we salted our rice, so we don't need a lot of salt in here, but I'm just going to bring it up just a little bit. For those of you who want that pumpkin flavor, this will do it. And this is beautiful. Now, some people who work with coconut milk, and I do it often, is I add a little sugar. It kind of balances the way that you taste the coconut. But for this recipe, I really like it very rich and earthy, so I'm not going to put sugar in. So this rice is nice and clumpy and cold, so I'm just going to break it up. And watch how this comes together. You can make this mix and heat it up later and add it to your rice. And we'll get into that as we cook together more and more. I can show you how to get yourself ready and not always be stuck at the stove. However, when you have leftover rice, this recipe goes super quick. Less than an hour, probably 10 minutes. Once you have your squash. The hardest thing to do for this recipe is cut that squash. That's the hardest, and it takes about 10 minutes to cut the squash. Look at this. So this is great. You can serve this with fish, chicken, I mean, even a snack. It is hearty enough to make this even for kids, it's It's delicious. If you add that little bit of sweet too, it really makes it lovely. And then I just garnish that with a little bit of scallion and maybe a little bit of chopped cilantro. Easy, quick pumpkin fried rice.